Welcome back to the channel, Pokemaniacs. New vinyl figures have been popping up over in Mexico. It's looking like Fuecoco and Vaporeon are showing up on shelves down there. And the Vaporeon, honestly, I think it looks actually pretty good. There's really good detail to this, but when you do like have it side by side with the Fuecoco or any of these other figures in this line of figures, the sizing does make it feel a little bit weird. Now, admittedly, I don't follow this line too closely, but it looks like there's also a Jolteon that's coming out, and there's a bunch of other figures here, and they all look kind of familiar to me, except for like the Cubone, but I might be wrong on that one. So feel free, correct me down in the comments. Then we also have new photos of the Meowscarada figure that's coming up. This whole time we thought it was going to be one of the 6-inch super articulated figures. Seems like it's going to be just a regular battle figure here with some awkward, like hunched over swiping motion potentially. But just because this is turning into a battle figure does not mean that it won't eventually come up as a super articulated figure, because we do have a number of other figures that have done this. Like Garchomp has had a battle figure and a super articulated, as well as Cinderace, two just off the top of my head. But with the release of this Meowscarada, it does look like Garchomp is coming back, and then also a Pangoro, which is pretty cool to see. Then Visagam, always coming in clutch with some of these photos, gave us some real life photos of the environment figures, the new ones that are coming out. We've got the Mushroom Forest environment and the Shoreside Lake environment. Both look pretty decent, but I think the Mushroom Forest is probably going to be a little bit more popular, at least based on just how the environment kind of looks, and then also that Hoot Hoot and Poochyena are looking great as well. But let me know your opinions down in the comments. Which one do you like more right now? If you do want to try picking these up, I haven't seen them online, but people have been finding them at Barnes & Noble, so you might want to swing by there. Then we have some possible images here of the Gallade super articulated figure. So brace yourself. Here it is on this shelf, up against the Cinderace super articulated figure. I don't know exactly where this photo came from, but Nerdy Boy on Discord did post it up, so shout out him. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about this figure quite yet, because part of me feels like, yes, this is Gallade. It's super accurate, like it looks great, but also it feels very robotic looking, like with just the level of articulation and everything, that maybe it's just the posing. It looks like the knee joints, those will actually be pretty decent and kind of fun to just like, I mean, the feet of Gallade seems like it should be pretty planted, so it should be able to stand on its own, which is always nice, but the arms are kind of killing me here. It just looks super robotic, and the waist, like there's just nothing there, and so I don't know, I'm a little skeptical that this figure is going to leave us wanting. Visagam also was able to post this picture on Discord. This is against the Pokeplop Gardevoir. It looks like on this photo the Gallade has a better paint job here, but still, I have concerns around that articulation. The arms are, it seems like they're like two pieces. There's no real, like, I don't know, man. It just looks a little bit funny to me. But I also don't want to be like a Debbie Downer or anything like that. So if you're excited about Gallade, this is freaking sweet. But maybe it's a good one to leave in the box. I don't know. We'll see. No official release date quite yet on this one, but it should be in a wave with Noivern. We were skeptical that maybe there was going to be a Meowscarada in there, so maybe there's a question mark in this wave, and then based on some boxes that we saw, hoping for a Suicune release. We'll see. In other figure news, we've got lots of Funko news. So we've got new Biddy Pops. These are micro-sized Funko Pops. They come in 4 collections of 4 Pokemon. Thankfully, there's no dupes or chases in this, so if you are wanting to pick any of these up, it should be pretty easy, especially in this economy. You know, cost-effective things for collecting. It's always good. So if you do want to pre-order any of those things, I got it down in the description for you. But if you do prefer full-size Funko Pops, there was the new soft-colored Squirtle that came out for Funko. We've now had the Bulbasaur and Charmander, and then the Squirtle rounding out the Kanto First partners in this soft colorway. It is exclusive to Box Lunch, so I will link that down in the description for you as well. And then over in China, Funism, who makes some actually surprisingly very good figures, they came out with this line a little while ago. It reminds me of Funko Pops, but they're just a little bit different, a little bit better, because they don't have like the Funko eyes, coming from the guy who's got like all these Funkos behind him. Anyways, Funism has a second wave of these figures coming out. This is all based around the Eeveelutions. I think they look great. The first wave had all of the Kanto starters, including Pikachu and Eevee. So the second wave is purely Eeveelutions. Again, I think they look great. They're kind of like cute, but with like actual detail to them. So they feel a little bit more like an actual replica of the Pokemon. And this whole wave should be releasing on May 23rd. Then Nanoblocks should be coming out with a fresh new wave of Pokemon to build up. This wave is going to include Pokemon like Mega Lucario, Mega Gengar, and we've got all 3 legendary beasts in it. When fully assembled, the Mega Lucario, it's 5.5 inches tall. I thought it was going to be a little bit bigger, honestly. In the photo, it looks a little bit taller. But you guys know I love seeing some Mega Pokemon. And I know the legendary beasts have a pretty strong following, so I enjoy this wave. I think this was a really solid choice. Over in Japan, the Pokemon Center in Fukuoka is reopening. And of course, got a whole new wave of merchandise. In this collection, we of course have plushies featuring Pikachu along with Latios and Latias. We've got keychains. There's this exclusive pin that looks just awesome. There's some hair clips featuring various Pikachu expressions. There's a t-shirt for the collection, some washcloths, and some stickers. The reopening is a collaboration between Ippudu Ramen, Sanui Textiles, and Menbei. So that kind of helps inspire some of the items in the collection. There's also some various like bags and other collectibles. I just wanted to focus on these ones because I thought they looked really cool. Also really cool, a little while ago, this Ditto mold cup came out. It comes in the normal Ditto color or got a clear purple version. The listing says it can be used for food or even sand and snow. So I don't know, it's kind of a fun product. I thought I'd showcase it here. I love unique collectibles like this. And I also really love this collection. This is the Cave Dweller collection. It's featuring all of our favorite cave Pokemon. In this collection, we have this really rad evolution plush that like folds in and out of itself to form the 3 different forms like Geodude, Golem, and Graveler. We've got keychain plushies. We've got this awesome magnetic figure of Onyx that can hold like your paper clips and stuff. There's also this cute little Garchomp family, which acts as an accessory tray. There's paperweights and like a whole fossil excavation kit, just like if you're playing Diamond and Pearl. And you can get your very own escape rope lanyard. Then, of course, we do have some t-shirts in here. There's a button-up shirt, a tote bag, light-up keychain, which is pretty cool, and some regular keychains if you want something a little less fidgety, and a little tin with some candy inside. So definitely one of my favorite Pokemon collections here. It's been maybe just like a little bit since there's been a collection where I'm like, this is it. So this is a really cool collection, but I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. In video game news, we actually have a couple items to talk about for the Nintendo Switch 2. Seems like there's going to be some default user icons all based around the first partner Pokemon, which is really cool because in the Switch 1, we didn't get anything like that. We had to go buy them with our coins and stuff. And then on June 5th, on the Nintendo Switch 2, there will be like a day 1 patch for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. The release says that this is going to provide us some optimized visuals, which they state will be giving us a high resolution for TVs and improved image quality, as well as increased frame rate for smoother movement. Then on the Japanese side, they did actually release some photos of this high quality content. Just photos though, so I mean, at first glance here, looks pretty good. There's more Pokemon on screen. It is looking fairly clear, except some of the background details are still maybe a little bit smooth. And obviously these are just photos, so we can't really experience the smoothness, the frame rate piece of actually moving through this environment. So once it comes out, we're definitely gonna have to check this out. In card news, this past weekend was the Destined Rivals pre-release, and now we know all of the promo cards that are available in the build and battle kits. Really strong selection here with Typhlosion, Gyarados, Tyranitar, and Mimikyu. So I've really enjoyed this lineup. Some of these cards actually seem pretty usable, but because of these Pokemon, I do imagine these promos are gonna be very popular, even more popular than the set already was going to be. Then in addition to those promos, we have more promos available at Best Buy and GameStop. So starting on May 30th at GameStop, or if your region has EB Games, GameStop is going to have a Zapdos, and for those regions that have Best Buy will have the Articuno promo card. Either way, you'll have to spend $15 to get the promo, so good luck. Hopefully your store has some product. Best Buy usually does offer these promo cards online also, which is nice. Just my GameStop and Best Buy, like they don't really get a lot of promos and stuff, so like it makes it easier if I can get it online. So good luck to you. Hopefully your store has product. Hopefully they get the promos. Then the Pokemon Company International has confirmed that the Pokemon Fossil Museum is coming to North America in 2026. This museum first showed up all the way back in 2021, I think is when I first talked about it. This museum first showed up in Japan, and it's super rad. They have these big molds of Pokemon fossils alongside like real actual like dinosaur fossil bones. And in the museum you get to walk around, obviously, and learn about, I mean, what some of the Pokemon kind of were designed upon, as well as learn a little bit more about this prehistoric history that the Earth has. The North American version is going to be coming to Chicago's Field Museum May 22nd of 2026. I imagine this event is going to be very popular, and we might even see some cool collectibles, much like we saw with the Van Gogh Museum that Pokemon collaborated with. Hopefully this one goes a little bit more smoothly though, But if you are not able to make it out to Chicago, or if tickets get all scooped up, there is a virtual version of this from the Japanese museum. So I'll link that down below if I can. It is an external site. I don't know the rules on that. And if you'd like to revisit any of the past Pokemon news videos, I'll link a playlist up here on the screen for you. And then if you want future videos, make sure hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, spending some time with me today. Take care of each other out there, and I'll see you very soon on the next one.